This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through your 2019 Zinger Model 211 RD. Okay, I'm on the door side of the trailer, walking towards the rear. And as you can see, you've got scissor type stabilizer jacks. You can use a crank or a 3/4 inch socket on a drill, is what most people use these days. You got one, obviously you have a stabilizer on each corner. All right. Also, this is your water heater here. The switches to operate it are inside. I just want to show you that this is where it drains from right here. Always make sure there's water in the water heater tank before you turn it on. That's very important. All right. You have a power awning. You have a cable, or actually antenna out here, plus power. You have a fill for your fresh water tank. Now, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to use city water because just about all campgrounds have it. But if you go to a more rustic one or an older one that doesn't have plumbing on the campsite, it just has a fill station when you first go in. You can fill this ahead of time and use the onboard pump to pump your water. It works just like you've got city water. I'll show you the city water hookup when we get on the other side. All right, you got outside speakers. This vent here is for your range hood. So if you're going to use the range hood fan, there's little latches here. You can undo the latches so the baffle inside flaps freely. Otherwise, you're going to keep it shut. But when you're using the exhaust fan, you want to have that open to flap freely. All right. 2 20-pound LP tanks. Okay, you got a deep cycle marine battery. That little port there that says Fury on it, that's in case you purchase a solar panel to charge the battery. That's a Furrion brand there, so the plug would fit right in there if you were to get something like that. Of course, it won't run your trailer or anything, it'll just charge your battery. Okay, so this is your city water hookup right here. So that's the most common way you'll get water. You'll just turn it on and you're ready to go. These are your dump valves down here. So your hose will go right on here. The other end goes into the dump station. Now there might be water coming out of here because he did water test it. So let me just be careful. Yep, sure enough. So the black one on the left, when you're looking straight at it, that's for the black tank, obviously. That's toilet water and waste. The gray one on the right is for sink and shower water. So you'll pull the black one first and dump the black tank, toilet water and waste. Then after that's dumped, you'll pull the gray one and dump the gray water, sink and shower water, obviously because it's cleaner water than the black water. So you can help clean out the hose a little bit by doing that. But if you leave your black tank valve open, then come up here to this here. This is your black tank flush. Like it says on the sticker here, you always want to have the valve on the black tank open before you turn on the water. So you'll just hook your hose here at the dump station, you'll turn it on, and it'll spray the inside of your tank out, clean up the jets and all that. So it's a really good thing, and it takes just a little bit longer to dump your trailer, but it's well worth it. So also, this is just a shower, hot and cold water for kids and dogs and feet and bicycles, whatever you have to hose down. All right, this is just that's the service panel for your refrigerator. You don't really have to go in there. I just want to show you that this hose should always be hanging out, so it drains to the outside. That's for condensation from the refrigerator. You got a 25-foot 30-amp cord that comes out the side. Okay. So this housing here tells us it's pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera. So if you choose to get a backup camera, you have to get the one that fits in that housing. So we do sell them here, but no matter where you get them from, make sure it's the correct one to fit into that housing. Okay, that's very important. So when you turn your running lights on, it'll just light up the camera. You can see behind you when you're backing up, or when you're going down the road, whatever you want to do. Also, this one comes equipped with a ladder, which is a great thing because you have to inspect your roof at least 3 times a year. So you figure you're going to go in the spring, and in the fall you'll go up there, and then once in the middle of the summer you go up there. If you can't get up there, send someone else up there. You look at all the sealant on the roof. You check the sealant for cracks, separation. Some years, sometime you're going to need to have the roof touched up, so that's why you're inspecting it, just to make sure it's good and tight and it's not getting any water inside. So you gotta inspect the roof. It's very important. 3 times a season is good. Also, check every place you see sealant or putty from the factory. Just give those a quick look to make sure everything is nice and tight like it should be. Okay, you will have pull down steps here, or fold out steps I should say, in a minute or so, as soon as we get them in. But I'll just climb in here like, okay, see, it wasn't so bad. Okay, so you have a power awning. There's the light. Here we go, out with it. So I'm going to send it out here. Oh, I was going to tell you, Mike, they're right there. Sorry. But you have a LED strip for the awning. You send the awning out till you can see the awning tube, basically. So that's 8 feet out. Okay, here we go. Right there. So there we're all the way out. You got your LED strip, like I said. Any light that doesn't light with a switch, well, there should be a switch for that one there. But so they will have buttons in the middle, or a button on them somewhere. Okay. All right. So this is your monitor panel here. The water pump I told you about, you can pump fresh water from your tank. If you don't have city water, you just turn it on just like that. The water heater on gas, you light it just like this. On electric, you light it just like that. Most people are going to use electric because they're paying for the electricity. Plus, you don't guzzle your gas in your tank for heating water. You can save it for cooking and the furnace if you really need it. All right. Like I said, never turn on the water heater either on gas or electric unless there's water in the tank. And I will briefly tell you that you have to bypass the water heater before you winterize the trailer. You may know this, you may not. But just so you can see, under here there's 2 screws. Everything is held down with a number 2 square-headed screw, so you'd have to get if you don't have one, get a bit for your drill. Anyway, if you were to take this seat top off, the cover, you'll see the water heater, the back of the water heater tank, and it has bypass valves on it. So you always got to bypass the water heater before you put any antifreeze into the system. If you don't, it'll leave a really foul taste and a bad smell that just won't go away. So, okay. So you check your battery here, it's charged. Always check when you're not plugged in. Freshwater tank has a little bit of water in it, we haven't dumped it yet. The black tank is empty now because you saw me dump it. Gray one, you just have one gray tank in this one, I'm sure. So basically when you get past 2/3, like right here, if you get up, it'll graduate up in 1/3 increments. When you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping your black tank and your gray tank. All right. Okay, you got a big sink. You have cool blue lights. This is your range hood. I told you about opening the baffle on the outside if you're running the fan. Right? Got a light on it too. The microwave works like any other microwave. Okay. Now your range, you just spark it to light it. So I don't know if he's got, yeah, so he has the gas turned on. So I'll shut it off and I'll back up a bit so you can see it. You turn the sparker clockwise, so you're just going to turn on the gas and then you go clockwise with it and it lights. You got one for each burner, of course. And then the oven is a little bit different. Let me just look real quick to make sure this one sparks. Yes, it has a sparker, which is really good. So what you'll do is you go to the oven knob and you go to the pilot. Push it in and turn it. You go to the pilot. Then you depress it like that. You hold it in. You keep it depressed. Then you're going to spark it right here. And when the pilot light down there lights, the pilot light is all the way to the back down there. You'll see it light. When it lights, you're still holding this in. You hold it for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat it up. Then you go to operating temperature. It'll cycle on and off like an oven does. But when you go to off, the flame goes out obviously, but so will the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay. Simple enough. Your dinette table, you pull the poles out of it. You can set the top down onto these cleats here, right? And then put the back cushions in place to turn it into a bed. This is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector right here. So it should always be green like that. I'll set it off for you real quickly so you can hear it. It'll go through 2 self-tests, one for LP, one for carbon monoxide. And then back to green. So that's very important. If that happens, obviously, you're going to take everybody outside. You'll shut off the tanks to the front of the trailer and figure out what's going on. But it should always be green. If not, get it serviced. It's very important. Also, this jackknife's flat. You just pull it up at the bottom, and this couch will jackknife into another bed. All right. Your controls for your air conditioner are right here. Your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator, meaning it doesn't have a compressor. It uses a different type of cooling cycle. That's why you can use LP gas to operate it. You turn it on right here. Okay, you can see it lit up. Now it says auto right here. Auto means electric. The reason they call it auto is because it'll automatically seek out electricity, and if it can't find it, it'll automatically switch to gas. Now, if you're using electricity and you have a power outage, it'll automatically switch to gas. That's why they call it auto. But electricity takes parameters, so it's always looking for 110 AC. You can also run it dedicated to gas just by doing this. You do that and it'll light. The refrigerator makes 3 attempts to light, so does the water heater, so does the furnace, just so you know. But if it doesn't light for some reason, this check light would come on, meaning it faulted, so you would just shut it off and turn it on again and let it cycle through one more time, and it'll definitely light the next time. But normally, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have it on auto, just like that. The only other thing to know is this thing is called a thermistor, so you can see the wire coming out the bottom of this. This is just a bracket or a clip that holds it onto the fin. You basically want it up all the way when you're using it. So you can see that sticker says the higher you go with it, the cooler it gets. So you're going to have, as far as that wire will stretch upward, you have it up there. And sometimes you'll have to back it off. Like if you go out in, let's say in colder weather and it starts to frost up a bit, you can back it off. But generally speaking, you're going to have it up all the way. All right. Now this is gas absorption. It doesn't have a compressor. So keep in mind it's going to take a long time to reach operating temperature. So you want to give it a whole day if you can. You know, light it or start it the day before is the best way to go about it. But either way, it's going to take a good 8 hours or so to reach operating temperature. Keep that in mind. If you put cold stuff in there, it works much better because it cools down much quicker. This is just your thermostat for your heat. It's very simple. You're on, off. Now, it's too hot to obviously start it today. It's pretty hot at this moment, but it'll make 3 attempts to light, and when it lights, it'll just run, and you can set the temperature like a normal thermostat, obviously. When you click it to the off position, it'll shut off. As soon as you do that, immediately the flame will go out, but then it'll cycle for another couple minutes to purge itself and cool itself down, so that's normal, all right? And here we have your bathroom. The sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. This here is a GFCI plug. All the plugs in the trailer, even the one on the outside, are wired through this one here. So if you're using a coffee pot outside and it pops, you're going to set it in here. Reset it in there. The toilet, the main thing to know about the toilet is you can't run it without chemical or water in it when you first start off. So when you get to the campground, you're going to pull in, stabilize your trailer, hook up your gas to your water. Then you're going to come in here. See, there's the flush pedal is right here. So you'll put your chemical right in there, whatever dose of the chemical you use. You have to read the directions. Then you're going to step on it. Water will come swirling out like that. So you put about 1 gallon of water in there, 2 gallons at the most. There's no way to tell that by a monitor panel. You just have to use common sense. That's about 1 gallon type of thing. The bottom line is, like I said, it has to have chemical and a little bit of water to get going. So if you're going to stay at the same campsite and you had to dump your black tank, but you're staying for another week, let's say, after you dump the black tank and close your valves and all that sort of thing, you'll come back in here and repeat the procedure. You put some chemical and some water in there to get you going. You can't run it without a little bit of water in it. It always has to have water in it to function properly. Otherwise, it'll be a real mess. Trust me. Okay. Alrighty, so you have a fan here. There's a switch. You always want to run the fan with the shower because you want to pull the humidity out, the moisture out. Alright, and then you have your bed, of course. This is a escape window, so you'd push it through, push it all the way through obviously, and then if you had to escape you would just grab a hold of this tab and you'd pull the screen out and out you go. These just up and down, they stay in place. If they ever start to fall down on you, like you're traveling, you're on the other side of the country, you can't very well go in for service or anything. But if they won't stay up, it means that this is too loose here. So you would just pull the string through a little bit, tie a knot like a 1/2 inch up or so, 3/8 inch up, just to tighten this up a bit. The tighter this is, the tighter this is. The tighter this is here. So the tighter this is, the tighter this is. You don't want to go too tight or you'll snap the string, but if you have to adjust it on the road, you don't need service, you could just tweak it a little bit, okay? Also, you got antenna plus power, and you can hang a backer, or there's a TV backer here, so you can hang a bracket there also. All right? Okay, so thanks for, oh, there's one more thing. Let me not thank you yet. This is the power converter, this device here. So this converts 110 AC down to 12 volt DC. See, you got 110 AC on this side. There's household type circuit breakers and they're labeled. Then it converts the power to 12 volt DC over here. You got 12 volt fuses and they're labeled. If any of these fuses blow, they'll light up and you can see them through this tinted plastic here. Okay. Also, this is a battery charger tender. So it'll always, as long as you're plugged in, it'll sense how much battery your energy has or needs, and it'll keep it totally charged. So it charges your battery while you're plugged in. So your tow vehicle will charge it going down the road. This will charge it when you're plugged in, so you always got a good charged battery. Okay. All right. So let me look around real quick. I think I've covered everything. I'm sure I have. Okay. Well, thank you very much for purchasing your trailer from National RV Detroit. If you have issues, you give us a call and we'll help you out. So basically, to go over the most important things, always inspect your roof at least 3 times a year and seal when necessary. And always bypass your water heater before you pump antifreeze into the system. Okay? Thank you very much.